What is up, YouTube? It's the first of the month. Hey, it's the first of the month. Check it out, YouTube. Uncle Mike couldn't sleep. Oh my gracious, Jaguar Wright. This is part 2, y'all. Jaguar Wright is interviewing the girl. I cannot believe this. I can't believe this stuff is going on in the sports. Man, the music entertainment industry, the movie entertainment industry, the sports entertainment industry. Wow. Hey y'all, Uncle Mike, I wish I would have showed y'all. I juice celery. I'm back on my diet, all veggies. Oh man, this is nasty. Celery, pure celery juice that's been juiced. I'm gonna be snacking on grapefruit juice. Grapefruits. I got grapefruit. Yeah, man, I got some oranges, and that's it for right now. That's all we're going, and water. Water. Man, my body feeling different, man, and I'm exercising, y'all. Uncle Mike went walking, and I do like 10 push-ups, and then I'm gonna add to it little by little. But anyway, check this out. This is the way I get my look, y'all. This is my Facebook. Y'all go look for Mike Cross on Facebook. I got on the same orange shirt. Dang. Anyway, what's this? Unspoken Truth, baby. Give her a thumbs up. Unspoken Truth, Part 2, Jaguar Wright and Tammy Wallace expose high abuse scandals. A lot of times I try to skip words that's in the title because some of these words we don't supposed to say, and maybe they spell them differently, whatever. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let Uncle Mike bring this bad boy to you. Let's check it out. That's hot.
Hey guys,
the Jaguar Wright Show.
I would introduce myself, but I think everyone in the world already knows who I am. I don't know if you guys remember.
Everyone in the world.
This is Tammy Wallace.
All right.
One of our bravest survivors that have come forward. I'm so grateful that her story gets to be our first.
Thank you.
That we launch here.
Thank you.
On the Jaguar Wright Show. And, your episode is about to cross, your first one is about to cross 100K.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Amazing.
How does that feel?
Amazing that the story is getting told and people are watching it and bringing awareness to what happened and what needs to stop. So I'm excited.
Well, she says she's little Jag.
I am little Jag.
So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some real stuff today. We're going to go a little deeper. But today we're going to be doing something special as well. We're going to take Tammy back to her field of dreams. The track field. We're going there today. And I think we might get graced with a little victory lap yourself.
I got it. I'm going to show out a little bit.
Today, you're going to talk to the 15-year-old Tammy.
Yeah.
Today, you're going to talk to the Tammy that had this terrible moment. And then we're going to go to the field. We're going to get out there to the track field.
Yes.
Let's go.
And we're going to show you what they tried to steal, but it's still there. People might be able to borrow your joy, but if they keep it, that's your choice.
Yes. I got it.
And congratulations to Tammy Wallace, seriously, on being our first survivor here on the Jaguar Wright Show. And guess what? Now, you don't just get to say that you were on the Jaguar Wright Show, but you got to sit with a real life defender of freedom.
A legend. I love her.
That hadn't happened when we first sat
No,
down.
it did not. I'm so proud of her. Kudos to you. I can't be more proud of this legend right here.
You know what? My friend Liz Crokin, she nominated me I really hope I get to nominate you. That.
Passing the torch to Lil Jag. I got you. I got you.
Look, we're going to see where all of this goes. But once again, welcome back to the Jaguar Wright Show. This is the second episode of the Tammy Wallace story, our survivor from the sports arena, whose story really don't sound much different than anybody else I'll talk about. Stay tuned. We about to get started. When I went on Instagram and I saw your post, I liked it the other day. And I think I left a comment too. And I was just seeing the people. And I was like, here's where it begins.
Yeah.
Here's where it begins. It's, there's no turning back.
No.
And oddly enough, I think you were ready for it to be this way.
Like, for years, like when I made the decision to speak, I would reach out to so many people, newscasters, NBC, ABC, you name it. They have an email from me, but it wasn't my time. When I reached out to you, it wasn't even 48 hours. And I knew it was God sent. I did. Because when I watched your videos prior, I knew, I was telling my partner, I said, I need to meet her. Because it was so much fuel in you. And I said, I feel like a little Jag, you know? Like, come on, like, let's fight. Because people don't believe and they want to talk mess and stuff. But I'm like, I'm not going to quit.
And that's the commitment. And when I think about the first day I went online, and I literally heard, F it, just tell the truth. And I started unloading on Instagram. That's where all of this began for me. I believe my friend had been sacrificed by the group that we came up in. Something that was once a big point of pride for me. I never really cared for the Roots being on the Fallon show, but I understood why they took the job. But that could never be me. I could never be a minstrel show band person for someone who I know has no care for my people. And sign all of that brilliant, everything we built up and just give it to that. I could never do that. But the one thing that I did expect was that when I heard that Malik had passed away, even though they didn't bother to let anybody know, we found out online like everybody else, like that wasn't our brother, like that wasn't our comrade, like that wasn't our fierce leader, like he wasn't such a big part of why the Roots and all of us who built careers from there had everything that we had because of what he had done. And then I started having people hit me up and contact me saying, oh my God, I'm sorry, I heard Malik B died. He was in the Roots. He was one of the founding members. What did he do? I don't remember. Who is he? That broke my heart. Just like Roberta Flack right now. I'm bittersweet about that right now.
Yeah.
Because everyone is saying, Roberta Flack passed away, Roberta Flack passed away, but nobody's sharing anything about why she was so awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody's talking about that. And when I was live on my YouTube channel this morning, before I started getting ready for us to come here and film today, I started sharing about what I knew of her as an artist, and me studying her work and knowing her work, and me meeting her as I got older at jazz festivals, me asking her a question that she didn't want to answer. When I asked her, how did it feel to work with Donny Hathaway? And her end response was, you don't want to know how it felt to work with him. You want to know what it felt like to lose him. Not today, sweetheart. And she just walked away.
Wow. Ooh.
And that was the first moment that made me think and believe, whoa. is Killing Him Softly about Donny Hathaway? Was that his song? I mean, it's the greatest song of her catalog. It is the song.
I know that song too.
Everyone knows Killing Me Softly. And then when Lauryn Hill and Wyclef revived it with the Fugees, it became the song of our generation. Like, you know, going to the club. You know, like, it became that moment. But nobody really ever accredited her for that.
Wow, that's crazy,
man. It was written by Roberta Flack, but where did that song come from? What made those grouping of words and those melodies that she put together so undeniably amazing that we've been singing them for decades? And we're not celebrating that. It's just, Roberta Flack passed away. Great American songwriter. Well, let's talk about why she was great. You know, and it's the same thing with pain and trauma. We talk about the fact that this person was traumatized. We talk about the fact that this person went to court and got a settlement, but we don't talk about what it felt like or what actually happened along the way. What makes this survivor story so beautiful, so special, so great? You know, our journeys in life are just like snowflakes. No one is the same. Might all be snow, but no one flake is the same. You know, so I guess that brings me to you. When you think about your life as an athlete and a really gifted one, and you discovered your gift in your body ability at a very young age.
Yes,
very young.
And today we're going to talk about the day that changed everything for you. But what I want to ask you is this. Where do you think your athletic career could have or would have went if that hadn't happened to you?
So this is the thing. When I saw Flojo, like I said, running.
Flojo was everything for us.
I felt it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around my house. I'm like, ugh. Immediately, I went outside. It was like street lights. You know, the street lights, it's like separated. And I just started running back and forth. So all the kids were like, what are you doing? So I'm like, race me. So I started racing everybody. And I promise you, I was fast.
Me too.
The boys, everybody, right?
Number one, I can look at your legs. I can tell. 400,
200, they couldn't beat me. So all these invitationals in high school now, mind you, a lot of the women now that were like Long Beach Poly, Long Beach Wilson, Skyline, they were pretty good. They were juicing a little bit. Mine was natural. And
I'm not surprised.
What was funny was one of the comments I read, I did read a few. You weren't 15 years old when you were you weren't 16 in 96 and 95. How do you know? I entered Pomona High School as a 9th grader at 12. Had barrettes in my hair.
They were know as well.
With big glasses.
I believe that.
Fast as hell.
I believe that.
This is what I told my dad too. Because they were Tori Edwards gold medalists. I said, I'm going to take them down one by one. I'm going to be on that 4x1 relay at 12 years old. We went to state with a 12-year-old on the 4x1 freeway in the 4x4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was so driven because I knew I had to run to get away from my environment.
Just like my friend Shelly.
I wanted to get out, yeah. And I was good at it. So at lunchtime when everybody was in center quad or playing around, I'm in the weight room or on the track lifting. 12 years old, 13.
My god sister too. She was a big runner.
Yeah.
Baby slowed her down.
Wow.
Yeah. And then pain medication did the rest.
12 years old?
No. She started having babies. She had
not at 12 years old.
My godson. At 18, right before she graduated, she did track all the way through. She ran for Camden High. She ran Penn Relays too.
Oh, she went to Penn?
Oh, my God, sister, something else.
What?
But both of her parents were addicted to crack. And she was running for a scholarship too. So your story, there's not a lot that you have to tell me that I don't instantly get it because this has been a part of my life and I ran track. But I don't think people understand what it's like to lose that dream. Because even though you continued, something changed after that day. So I'm just curious, like, where do you think, if you hadn't have met with the coach and hadn't have had that terrible experience that left you dealing with PTSD and probably complex PTSD from that point forward. So where do you think your career would have went?
I would have went to the Olympics.
Okay.
If I hadn't experienced that. Because, let me sum it up real quick. So my head coach was 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 Taylor.
Right.
Who played for the NFL with Brett Favre. Okay. When the incident happened with me in Vegas with his cousin or nephew, they're all related, Brian Critchlow, right? I started training at Mount SAC with the Southern California Cheetahs. The head coach was Ernie Gregoire, who's 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 Taylor's father-in-law. So I'm training with the assault man father-in-law. So let me say it again. My head coach, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 Taylor, which was assaulting all these girls. We driving his car, he buying his liquor, all this stuff. When the incident happened in Vegas, I said, I'm not training with Pomona High anymore. I started training with the Southern California Cheetahs. The head coach was Ernie Gregoire, his father-in-law.
So you didn't get away at all?
No, not really.
And of course, they put the word out.
He knew. He asked me. Ernie Gregoire said, is 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 up there messing around with you young girls? I said, yes. One of his coaches at Mount SAC was, the girl who was assaulted that I watched witness 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 do, her dad was Coach Goss. He was a head coach also at Mount San Antonio. He knew, too. He went to the school with a gun on 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦. So everybody knew.
It sounds like the music industry.
Nobody.
Everybody knows, just like everybody knows about a Diddy party, but don't nobody know nothing about Diddy after dark, right?
Yeah. Everybody knew everything.
Everybody
so it
left
wasn't just
early.
my mom that knew. Oof. That's the victim. I don't want to say her that, but she knew.
No, I understand.
Her parents knew. Everybody knew. So it wasn't hidden. So I'm like, for us to keep dealing with all these struggles.
You want to know what's wild? As terrible as all of this probably sounds to everybody that's watching right now, as open as all of this sounds, all of this abuse, all of this torture, all of this just neglect at the same time, because there was a responsibility between the coaches and the parents to make sure that the children were safe in their care. That's why they signed the permission slips and all of these things. And these people took these slips, took these children, and lied to these parents.
Yes.
So I don't think people understand that back then in the 90s, like up until the late 2000s, it was still common for grown adult men to fraternize with underage girls.
When my family and people around me got heat to what the coaches were doing, even my grandma, may she rest in peace. Oh, well, they used to do that back in our day, girl. At 13, I'm like, with this, I'm telling you, I would always say this. Even when I went to jail and I told my attorney, I always felt like an alien in this family because the abuse they endure and sweep under them rugs that I pulled up, I wasn't taking that.
You sound just like me.
I said, no, what the hell is this?
You sound just like me. Talking about my family. Isn't it funny how common it all is?
Yeah.
But see, that's the issue that I think a lot of people are having when it comes to really accepting and embracing these stories. You're forgetting that there's an entire culture that promoted young girls being led by and taken under the wing by, we call that grooming with a G. And It's okay as long as he marries you. It's okay. It's all right if you get pregnant. It's okay because he'll marry you and then you'll be okay. And then you'll be taking... That's always the story. Wasn't that the story?
That's how, with Brian, that's how he was able to manipulate me.
Yeah.
And I believe that's how Kendrick was able to manipulate the victim I saw. Is because some of us come from broken homes. I come from a home with a cop dad. He was an alcoholic, and a mom that took it out on me. Yeah. So we trusted these guys. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. You can trust me.
Do you know how many of those single moms are screwing those coaches, hoping that it's going to get their kids a scholarship, and then find out that not only was he doing you, but he was doing your kid, and then the moms look for quiet hush money so they don't have to look stupid, because while you thought you were having your fun and you was going to get your kid this scholarship and they was going to make it to the NFL and you were going to have fur coats and cars and live in the suburbs and go to the country club, this person, you're sitting, you literally have encouraged this person to be around your child, and they're doing the same thing to your child.
Do you know exactly what the parents were doing at Pomona High School? The victim that I seen, her mom was bringing this man lunch. My mom took her to get an abortion. Where was the protection? We didn't have any. So once I didn't get protection from the school, my parents, what do? I start drinking.
What else were you supposed to do? That's what I started doing when people started trying to sweep what was happening to me under the rug, or what had happened to me under the rug. But that's the biggest part of the problem. The people that are supposed to protect you sometimes are just as bad as the ones who abuse you.
Yeah.
And I am very glad that Jaguar putting this out here, because there's some people being abused now, and they think it's their job to keep their mouth shut. They think that they doing better for themselves by keeping their mouth shut, and they need to come forward. And they might have came forward before to somebody that didn't believe them. A boy or girl, you tripping. That ain't happen. But now they can get in touch with a person like Jaguar Wright and really tell them this story. And people that been through stuff like this will believe them better, believe more in them, and get them to really open up so we can start nipping this craziness in the butt.
Like
nip it in the bud.
When we did our the first part of our interview, I've gotten more support from people I don't even know. One of the messages I got was from my mom, and I saw it. I am upset about you speaking of me and your delete. Then a couple hours later, I get like 4 messages.
Don't delete it. That's what the problem is. Y'all need to learn how to do the opposite. Don't delete it. You should have wrote a reply, say, hey, y'all, I just want y'all to know, listen to this. This is my mother. This is her comment. Don't delete it. Fuck deleting them comments. Don't ever delete them negative comments.
It was from my mom, and I saw it. I am upset about you speaking of me and your delete. Then a couple hours later, I get like 4 messages from my youngest son. Delete. I'm not reading this abuse anymore. You don't like it? Hey, I said what I said.
When you have an option,
don't delete.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got an option.
Let the world see what you've been going through.
I was live the other morning, and I addressed your mom.
Wow.
And I made it very clear that by no means in any way, ma'am, is the Jaguar Wright Show here to bash you, destroy you, demean you, or degrade you in any way. That is not our objective. Unfortunately, your daughter has a story that's important. And that story needs to be told. And there's certain aspects of this story that unfortunately you're attached to.
And you ain't gonna like it.
I cannot apologize for giving your daughter a chance to tell her story and finally get the support that she needs. in her goal. Sports, that was stolen from her, but she wants to make sure that it's not stolen from any more girls.
Amen.
And I get it. It's uncomfortable. Much as I love my mom, I've had real things to say about her. Her mom, and some people might see it as disrespect, but it's not. If it all could have been worked out behind the scenes, there would be no need for us to do it here. But this is all that's left.
It's all we got,
if you would like to come to the show and to speak with us directly and give your side of the story,
we'd be more than happy to have you.
We're more than ready to do that. We're not trying to create a narrative.
That's one
Narratives
side.
aren't what we're interested in. We're interested in the truth being fully explained. So I hope you don't mind me saying that.
No, not at all. I love my mother. You know, and this is why I dedicated my second book, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, to her, because I know she saw something in me that she couldn't fulfill. Yeah. So despite all the challenges and I'm going to say jealousy and all that I had to endure, my mom and my sister. Yeah. I said, I'm going to dedicate this book to you because after everything you did to me, I'm still proud that you did it because look where I'm at now. I'm strong as hell. You can't break me. Even now, I get sad. Like, mother, daughters have their brunches and go get their nails. I'll never have that.
You know what? I used to feel that way about my relationship with my mom. And then I started realizing something. I was expecting something that she wasn't capable of giving.
Whoa, that's deep.
My mother was an equally broken person. She was a survivor as well, even though she never lived this one. She stayed a perpetual victim.
That's deep.
Even though she thought. You know, some people, they think they know what it means to be a survivor. And to be a survivor is to say, I went through this. This is terrible. It's wrong. I'm going back. I want to make sure this doesn't happen again.
That's right.
I'm not going to let it happen again. That's a survivor. A victim is, this happened to me and that happened to me, but I don't complain about it. I'm okay. Why do I need to bring up the past? There's nothing to talk about. Oh, bad things happen to people all the time. And they do it with this weird little delusional smile on their face.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that their issues aren't resolved. But see, you resolving yours puts a question to them. Why haven't they resolved theirs?
My bad, y'all.
Right.
And nobody wants to answer that question to themselves when they're in denial. So
I just felt like even when I won the settlement, I didn't feel like I won.
Yeah.
Because they're still coaching young girls, women, right? And I have to say this. It wasn't just Kendrick Taylor, Brian Critchlow. It was Herman Hopkins, Vincent Sterling, and Derek Pugh. I witnessed a lot of this stuff. And all of these men are still coaching.
Still working. Still working with our future.
Derek Pugh coaches at some school in Van Nuys. Why?
You want to know what's interesting? They stole your future from you.
Yes. That's what burns me.
They stole your future from you. And they got to keep theirs.
Yeah.
While they're probably stealing other people's future as we speak.
And they're talking down on the ones who bust them out. Oh, she's just doing this for a money grab. No, I'm doing this because I know how it affected me. I have night terrors. Sometimes I have to relax during sex because I feel
triggering moments.
I feel like weird having an orgasm. Like I feel guilty. Because I wasn't able to really fulfill that. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I'm having an orgasm. Is this bad? Like I shouldn't feel like this.
The body confusion that comes from SA is
I never thought of that.
I told you, I shared with you, I had issues because the first time I had experienced female ejaculation was while I was being, gang raped. And so when I would feel that feeling about to happen, I would make it shut down because it came from that moment, and it was very, like it
made me feel shamed.
No, it does.
I'm
it
like,
does.
oh
It's
my
like,
God.
oh, I gotta shut this down because that's what happened to me. And so you can't really, which is wild, because what you're not acknowledging is that you're reliving a time that's past, that's not here. It's not happening to you now, and it's stopping you and it's stifling you in your life right now. That's when you have to acknowledge, okay, this isn't resolved. This is undone. This isn't complete.
That's crazy,
I'm still
man.
dealing with this. It's still here. And it's different for me now. But it took a lot of work. And I had to really look, and not just look in the mirror, but study the shadow and the person behind the mirror.
That's deep, man. From a man's point of view, I never looked at it like a woman, you enjoying sex, so allegedly you enjoying the sex, and you reach that moment of what we're going to call true happiness. It reminds them of true sadness of when the first time they reached true happiness of an orgasm. It reminds them of being arid. And I'm saying to myself, damn, that should be behind you and you should be enjoying me because I'm the one in the bed with you, so to speak. Does that make sense? From a man's point of view, I never looked at it like, dang, they can be reliving that moment all over again. That's wild.
Sometimes we see ourselves and we have a picture of ourselves, but it's not complete. We don't really see what our pain has done to us, what is stripped from us. We've been coping. And then that's when things come along that...
You know what was trippy about the whole assault with the coaches?
Yeah.
It made me be an actress. So I could have sex after that and not be just Tammy. I could be a whole actress. But when I had to be me, that's when I got scared and would run.
And it felt uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
So what does that say? What does that say about what happened to you? Tammy was assaulted. As long as you don't have to be Tammy, you can have a great time. But the second that it comes to true intimacy, where you're involved, you're right back to the continuum.
Yeah. I freeze up like,
So that brings us to this place. Let's talk about the day. Let's talk about your bad day, the day that changed your future. What was that morning like? Can you remember?
Well, that morning we were at Pomona High. We were all on the bus. It's like believe it or not, my dad raised money from his where he worked at Chino Prison for us to go rent the bus to go to Vegas. So we were all on the bus to go to Vegas. So everybody was drinking, the coaches.
So what time did y'all leave? Like first thing in the morning,
like
5 a.m.?
9 o'clock.
9 a.m.
So we were all drinking. The coaches too.
Jesus.
Everybody. We got there and...
Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Was like a normal day? Did you get dropped off? Did you take the bus to school?
I believe it or not, I had a pickle. And I remember me and my the victim that I seen get assaulted, we had on the same outfit. We had little white shoes, And the whole trip to Vegas, we stopped in Barstow at this, I think that's where everybody stops. It's like a McDonald's and you can fill up.
I call Barstow the outer limits.
Yeah, you can get more liquor. We stopped there. And then we carried on to Vegas. And I'm like, why is the team on one side of the hotel? We on the total opposite side. And my parents saw this because they were chaperones. They didn't put two and two together like, hey, Kendrick, Brian, because Brian wasn't a track coach. He just got signed as a track coach, as an assistant, just to attend to do what he did with the young girls. He wasn't a coach at all. He wasn't. So
some chaperone.
My mom, I had talked to her one night. She said, yeah, I came to check on you guys. And Kendrick said, oh, Tammy and the other victim is asleep. It was 7:30, 8 o'clock. We're on the other side of the hotel. You really believe he was asleep? No. We weren't asleep.
I was talking to another survivor.
That's crazy,
Industry
man.
legacy kid that I know. Her mother worked in the industry and so did her father. Mom was more interested in making it into the right circles. Dad was more interested in her focusing on being the best artist she could be and not needing any of the other groups. So, there was conflict in the way she was raised. Dad wouldn't allow certain things, but Mom would encourage and push certain things. And there was a night that she was telling me about an event that I was at a hotel for a music conference where her and other small girls, and she was only 12 years old at the time.
Oh, wow.
They were visited by a couple of the members from 112. And they were all grown. They were all over 18. And there wasn't a girl in that room over the age of 15. And she was 12. And that was the first time she had her uncomfortable experience with a celebrity, which of course had to be shushed and no one could tell her dad. Mom knew all about it and continued to keep trying to peddle her to celebrity guy after celebrity guy so she could have her Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner moment or her, Hilton moment, Paris and her mom, she wanted that.
I have to say this. When you just said that, it reminded me of, for instance, my dad was a part of a motorcycle club, Black Knights of Pomona. They were on East End, right? Even before that, my family, my mom, my sisters, cousins, girl, I'm going to let everybody else put the pieces together. We need you to come up here as some guys up here. They won't talk to us, but here I come. Now the guys want to talk to you. But you mad because I'm here. First, even with the coach, right?
I had cousins and friends like that. Yeah. They needed me to help them get in. They needed me to help them do this. And then be jealous of the fact that they needed me to get them in. And that everybody kept saying, who did you come with? Who did you come with? And you had to get.
And they team up against you. And you're like, well, why did you invite me here? Why the hell am I here? Just like when the incident happened with me with Brian, I hate the smell of Dove men's soap in that gray container. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what oral sex was. That's how young I was. So I'm like,
wow.
He manipulated me to come in my room because I was telling him how abusive my dad was and how my mom was. So he befriended me. It's okay.
Shoulder to cry on.
Yes. Big brother moment. Kind of like that. Let me stretch you because you have a big race tomorrow. So people want to say, why were you in his room? Okay, well, let me tell you why. He wanted to stretch me. He was a married man with a baby, okay? And he just manipulated me into doing some stuff I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Okay? He held my hands like this and told me to shut the mess, And he said, it's going to feel good. Don't worry about it. He had braces. And he said I had too much hair on my vagina. He needed me to shave it. And he penetrated me. And I had to sit there through that and smell that Dove soap.
Stuck with you.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't stand the smell of old Eve. I couldn't stand the smell of old English.
Old English.
And
you old if you're using old English, because when I was young, we used to laugh at men that use old English and Old Spice. Yeah, Old English, Old Spice was like old, and I'm 58. So if you're using Old Spice or Old English, you was an old Bama anyway. Golly.
Yeah, I couldn't stand the smell of old Eve. I couldn't stand the smell of old English. And cool water.
Cool water.
Old English cool water and the smell of burnt crack.
Cool
That's what
water.
happened to me when my sister's husband assaulted me in my sleep. That's what I could smell. None of those things when I smell.
I still can't smell it to this day.
Yeah.
Or see a man with a white towel.
Okay.
I'm 15. How are you going to tell me? He was like, you need to shave. I'm like, I don't know. What do you mean shave? Shave what? How? I didn't know what to do.
Look at what a terrible position you were in. You were at discord with home. You didn't have the best relationship with your parents. Your entire goal was to become a famous track star, make it to the Olympics so you could get away from all of this dysfunction. And these were the people that you had to rely on to help you get that done.
Yeah.
Like he didn't know these things. He knew all of these things about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't sound like your parents were very guarded about how they communicated with these people. Because for your parents to be chaperones, for all of that to go down, and nobody caught on.
I know my mom would say, well, Tammy, I didn't know. Okay, you say you didn't know. But when my niece was being benched, you went to the school and said you knew this happened in the 90s. You took my friend to get an abortion. You knew. You knew. You let me suffer. You didn't give me counseling. All you did was say how fast I was and talk mess. That hurt. So I wasn't even able to be a good wife, let alone a good mom, because when my kids got of age, and we got some size on them, I'm looking at them like, hold on. I wasn't able to fully be me because I've been guarded ever since. Well, and it's funny to them. It's not funny to me.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I feel so sorry for her. You go, girl.
It's like it's ruined my fucking life.
I know. But they didn't. But the struggle to just be accepted. Because the truth is you're not looking for validation. You're not looking for sympathy. You're not even asking for people to make a hero out of you. You just want to be acknowledged for you.
For them to stop coaching girls so they don't have to go through this. This is not a good feeling.
I know. I know what it's like. But for those who don't, walk them through your day. Walk them through your day, and I'm just going to fall back, and I'm going to let you tell your story. But what I want people to listen to, and I've asked Tammy to take this journey with us, to just walk her through the day her life changed forever. None of these things that happened to her should have happened. And she wasn't a runaway. She didn't sneak out the house to go to a party. You know, we were talking about the victim, the Diddy victim, that also accused Jay-Z. And how she just dropped that case. And everyone was making a big deal about it. But she had even run away because she wanted to go do this and go do that. Like, that happens sometimes. Children run away from home. Bad things happen. Young kids, like that whole "you're fast" thing. But that's not what you were doing.
I was fast, but just on the track. Just don't give me that credit. You know what I mean? I wasn't fast like, promiscuous or any of that. It's like they wanted me to be something I wasn't.
Your assault happened when you were exactly where you were supposed to be, with parental, so-called supervision, chaperones, signed permission slips. Like, this didn't happen to you because you were disobedient, because you were wild, because you were fast, because you were exactly where you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
You were there to do what you came to do, and that was to be the fastest ever so you could run away from all your problems.
It was hard to see.
What? It happened to you.
Yeah, it did.
When you were exactly where you were supposed to be as a child, while an adult took advantage of the situation.
There it is. There it is.
So, just walk them through the day. That's your camera if you want to talk to the audience.
The day happened.
Yeah, walk them through the day, but not as you now. as Tammy.
I know,
that
like
15-year-old girl.
I didn't see Brian as a threat. You know, because like I said, I would talk to him about my family issues. He was comforting, nice. He would let us drive their cars. All the coaches would let us drive their cars, go get lunch and all this stuff. So going to Vegas was like, oh, he has my back. He's going to make sure nothing happens to me.
Trust.
Yeah. I trusted him. I did. And that wasn't the case. Even before the Vegas trip, he had a green Thunderbird. When the Thunderbird was long, he had his hat backwards. I remember my dad was cutting the lawn, and he came and pulled up. Hey, Mr. Wallace, how you doing? Talk to my dad. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm cool.
Wow.
I could trust him. Like if my dad gets tripping or my mom, I could confide in him.
I had one of those in my life.
Wow.
He had an IROC Z, candy apple red. Why do those guys always have those kinds of cars? Or do you remember the Conquest TSIs? Like those guys always had those kinds of cars.
And let us drive. Rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I take care of your daughter. Don't worry about her. I'm like, oh, okay. And then
Franz was the same way with Lauryn Hill when she was a girl.
Really?
He used to go to her house and ask her parents if he could take her to the studio.
That's what happened.
And then leave her there with Wyclef. Yeah.
It's like they'll go to your parents' house to get a little approval.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, Tammy, you safe?
Yeah.
You're not safe. When I went to Vegas, I'm like, who is the guy that went to my family house and was like, I got her? No, it wasn't like that.
He was the guy he needed to be to get you to the studio. He was the guy he needed to be to get you to the bus. Yeah. He was the guy he needed to be to get you alone.
The representative.
Or to leave you alone with someone else.
Well, the thing that sticks to me that I still have to work through was the fact that he told me, what the F are you doing? You got too much hair on your vagina. I need you to shave it. I'm like, how do I do that? I'm young. I don't know I didn't even know what he was talking about. When he was giving me oral sex, I'm like, what is this? Like, and he's like, don't move. I didn't feel nothing because I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then eventually it started getting pleasurable. I'm like, I started feeling like, damn, this is bad, but you don't.
Natural reaction.
So it grew in my adult life. I'm like, so when it was starting to feel good, I'm like, let me back up. So it's like muscle memory from back in the day when I was 15.
From pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to turn into somebody else. Meaning what I was taught by him was to have a shot or a drink, then have sex. And then I witnessed my friend getting assaulted, so I would hold my breath. So that became my thing. I'm going to hold my breath, have sex, and just hurry up.
Yeah.
It wasn't enjoyable to me.
Man, that's so sad.
I hated sex.
God,
that's
so
what
sad.
I hate about SA. Because in the right relationship, it's one of the most beautiful things in the world.
I know.
And then they take something like that and they turn it into something ugly. And then you struggle with that part of yourself.
I still struggle with it.
And you're a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
So I can only imagine how difficult this is for you. Because I'm sure there have been times in your past where people have shown interest in you and you've been too afraid to let them in.
I have to turn into an actress and be like, oh, okay. But then there's no emotion behind it. So I'm like, okay, you want to do this, have sex, fine. But I'm not there.
Yeah.
So when I get there, when I love the person and want to be there mentally, I shell up like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
That's what I battle with.
Still. I know.
That's a shame.
Like, I shouldn't have a guilty feeling by having an orgasm. Why do I feel guilty about being pleasured? That's not right.
How did you feel after?
When he did that to me?
Yeah.
Dirty. And I smelled the dove. Yeah. I was mute for a long time. I didn't even talk.
And
I just went to the track meet the next day, ran that fast time, and they was like, you going on the bus? And I just shook my head. I didn't even talk. And my mom was like, what's wrong with you? Because tell them for what? It's abuse at home. It's abuse here. I'm gonna just shut up. Nobody's safe.
You got that right. If I say something, they ain't gonna.
The worst part.
They ain't gonna believe it anyway.
I couldn't go to my mom and be like, oh, "Mom, help me."
I went to my mom, and her and my sister cooked up a story and made sure nobody believed me. And I grew up in a 2-parent family home just like you did. And we were a good family on the outside.
On the outside.
But there was a lot of dysfunction on the inside.
You ever seen the movie Ike and Tina? When Ike beat Tina and Ike come in here with all these gifts. So when we come to school with new cars and tennis bracelets, they got their ass whooped last night. Because the kids knew. They heard my mom screaming on the street. We lived directly down the street from the school. They know. You want to know what's funny?
That's crazy.
Everybody heard all of that stuff going on and nobody called the police.
Call the police for what? So they can just come and say nothing?
Isn't that how it works?
My daddy was cool with the inmates he would transport. They would come to our house and drink with him. Like, it was not a big deal. But me saying all this is going to piss everybody off again, like the messages I was getting
I understand, and guess what? Do you know what I tell people all the time?
What?
If you don't want to be a negative part of my life story, don't be a negative part of my life story.
Right on. Right on. Right on. Yeah.
I didn't ask you to be a negative part of my story.
I didn't beg you.
Bargaining. You're going to be the villain in my life. Like, that's not.
Yeah, no, for real.
No, it's
That's
weird
why
how
you
that
need
works.
to talk to people about it.
I'm enjoying talking to you.
Thank you.
Because it's reminding me why I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because the more we talk, same stories just keep popping up. Dysfunctional family, hardworking father, possibly domineering, overbearing, nosy but not present mother.
Yes.
Like, that's weird when you have a nosy parent that's also neglectful at the same time, because they pay a whole lot of attention to this over here and totally act like nothing.
Yeah, and then they cater to the sibling that's okay. My sister to me would have been like, you getting your ass whooped. You then got pregnant in high school, did all this stuff. I didn't do any of that. But my mom put her on this pedestal so high, I'm like, well, shit, I got pregnant in high school? Like, no, I didn't get it.
Because if you had gotten pregnant in high school, you would have been the worst thing that ever happened to the family.
Right.
You would have brought shame to the family. What I've learned about when families turn on family is that somebody has to be the bad guy and everybody else has to agree with it. You know what I mean? It's
draining sometimes.
It's very draining, but when your family chooses for you to be the black sheep.
I wear it proudly now. I'll be the black sheep.
Well, I don't really believe in black sheep. I think it's more like lone wolf.
I like the lone wolf.
I like the lone wolf. Because, see, the black sheep, that has a bad reference. But a lone wolf, it's just a lone wolf. Even though it was born in the litter, came up with a pack, it don't always have to stay with the pack. But that wolf is still a wolf. And it's that with a pack, without a pack, you know. It's, you know, that's why I love my name, Jaguar. Because of the animal.
Fast.
And not just
beautiful.
Fast. Patient. Calculating.
Yeah.
Strong. And when it makes a move, that's
over.
It. Ain't no coming back. And when it comes down, it's coming down fast and heavy.
That's why I said I was good, Jack. I promise. I said, I felt it. And I said, I would watch you speak months before even knowing you. And I'm like, I manifested it. I said, no, I have to tell what's been going on with the sports part in the NFL because it's happening everywhere. It's not just the music, entertainment. It's everywhere. These men they cover everything up right now. I'm still like looked upon as crazy. Don't listen to her. Oh, she's this, that. I don't care.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And yet, they say the same thing about me. Doesn't stop me.
Right.
That's their problem. That's not my problem. I know what my agenda is. I know what my issue is.
Mm-hmm.
But in this moment, I just wanted to know if it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Your assailant, your abuser. Could you look into that camera and tell him what he did to you? Because I know he's watching. And I know he's listening.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you would
imagine how that feel. He know what he did. Know right.
What he did to you.
He know
because
what he did.
Because the simple fact that he's still doing what he's doing. And that there's been other stories, other rumors, other things, other gossip.
He gonna stop now.
Clearly, he hasn't accepted who he is. Because you ain't got no business around young children.
I would like to tell him, like, Brian, you have young kids. You have girls, daughters. You have a wife. What if they were violated how you were violated? How I was violated? How would you feel? Your mother.
Talk to him.
You ruined my life. Like, I had dreams to become an Olympic gold medalist. And because of that incident, it shattered me. Like, it ruined me. Like, I didn't have the mental capacity as a 15, 16-year-old girl to handle that and track.
Yeah.
Let alone the family to support me and back me up. I went down. And I need you to understand what you did. What'll make it better for me is if you turn yourself in and stop coaching girls right now. That'll make me feel better. I can't even sleep at night knowing he's coaching girls.
It sounds like that's the settlement you really wanted.
That's what I wanted. It don't have nothing to do with no money. It's about him still. If I could put my being inside of other people so they could feel what he did to me, feel what I witnessed with all these other coaches. No institution would let them work with these kids. It's women right now, victims at Pomona High School. 2 of the women I grew up with, we're like cousins. 2 of them.
Yeah.
That battle the same stuff. So if I don't speak up for us, who will? Even the males.
Well, you're not doing it alone anymore.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
And there's about 100,000 people that have seen what you have to say, and I'm sure there's going to be a few 100,000 more. Until we get to 1 million people, we're going to make sure you get heard this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want all of the young people, male or female, if you come from any of these institutions where Tammy has been mistreated, she's here with us. And if you want to come forward, you can sit right here, me and Tammy, and we can talk it out. But we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
We have no choice. Now,
amen.
I know we haven't gotten to that part yet, but we're going to go to the track.
Yes.
And we're just going to take a little walk.
Yeah.
And I just want to go through your field of dreams.
Okay.
It got to be lane 5. Lane 5.
That's
Lane 5 is the fastest lane. That's my favorite number to this day. And I swear it is.
So we're going to take a trip down memory lane.
I would love that.
I never even thought about that. Lane 5 is the fastest lane.
I didn't win the Olympic gold, but I won the gold by speaking the truth and bringing the light to these coaches in my dreams. But they didn't steal it because now I'm winning. So this is it. I won. I feel like I still got my gold medal, even though I didn't get my gold medal. I won.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. 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 Y'all know what Uncle Mike's problem is, man? Well, it ain't a problem. You know what brings me joy? Oh, that is so beautiful at the end. Oh, my gracious, man. That is so beautiful at the end. Okay. I see you. Wolfgang. I see you, baby. I see you. I love when everybody around me in my environment is having fun. I love when everybody is having a good time. I love it when enjoyment comes from everyone. If we are all in a party or all on the bus and everybody's having a good time and one person looks sad, I would go to that person and say, how come you're not having a good time like everybody? This fun time. Uncle Mike don't like when somebody is hurt in pain. I never like that. I don't like to bring the pain. That don't mean I won't bring it. There's a lot of people that don't, I'm not a fighter. I shy away from fighting. Yeah, right. I don't like to fight either, but I fight when I have to. I avoid it at all costs. I avoid it at all costs. But sometimes the cause don't even amount to talking, because you ain't gonna do nothing but lie and tell your fake side of the story. Tammy, let me see. There he is right there. Man, god dang, a baseball bat was split in half, and it's a metal bat. I split it in half on his head. Oh my God, let me get on up out of here, man. Hey, thanks for watching. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. If y'all want to help us bless people, become a patron, man. We asking people to join the $3 tier, and Uncle Mike is gonna go out and bless people. You can actually see behind the scene footage. I wish I would have shot. I talked to a cameraman yesterday. I wish I would have shot some of the footage that we was talking about. I think I be having a lot of deep conversation with people that should be recorded. That's what I think. So I'm gonna start recording a lot more stuff and actually show it to the Patreons. So $3 a month, you will be helping somebody. I promise you that. I'm gonna be getting with Jaguar, getting with other people to actually, let's do something, man. Let's try to make a difference in this world. Let me know if you're an ender. Put in the comments if you are an ender. That means you made it to the end of this video and you hear my voice right now. I hear you, Uncle Mike. Let's help people. Let's help people. I'm an ender. Let's help people. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.